now to Felix Light in Moscow. Felix, this is indeed a milestone for Russia, but just how quickly will it become operational?
Well, yes, it's indeed a huge milestone. You know, this is a saga that's been going on for 10 years, of course, and has been enormously controversial in Germany and in Russia. I mean, right now, you know, the Russian side are very very happy that it's been completed, but the gas won't start to flow, Gazprom say, until regulatory approval has been granted by the German side. Now, that's not to sort of minimize, I think, the sense of triumph in Moscow. You know, it's a hugely controversial issue that's been carried to completion. But there are still hurdles to be overcome, although I think both sides basically expect that they will quite swiftly be overcome.
But this pipeline could become an important sort of political leverage, especially when it comes to Moscow dealing with the EU on issues such as Ukraine.
Yes, certainly. So there are sort of very much winners and losers on the Nord Stream issue throughout the European continent. So of course, for the German government, it's a huge achievement. You know, they made a decision that they wanted Nord Stream built. They wanted to replace sort of coal with Russian natural gas, and they achieved that against a great deal of pushback from allies. Of course, former President Trump in Washington attempted to sanction Nord Stream 2 at one point, and this has ultimately been carried to completion. And yet, on the other hand, countries like Ukraine, you know, which of course we all know has sort of very much aligned itself with Europe, with America, and of course with Germany against Russia, with which it's fighting a sort of frozen war in the Donbass there in East Ukraine. For Ukraine, this is a very, very damaging moment, if anything. Ukraine has sort of profited, and its economy has in part been based on transfer fees from sort of natural gas imports from Russia to Europe that must go through Ukraine. With the completion of Nord Stream 2, which represents a sort of a direct link, if you like, between Russia and Europe, Ukraine is rather superfluous and finds itself very much missing out. So it's you know, no surprise that throughout the whole process, the Ukrainian government was really one of these sort of very strong advocates against Nord Stream 2. And I think, you know, this issue of sort of geopolitics of sort of fossil fuels and of natural gas in Eastern Europe will be very sort of key in the coming years, and I think we'll be paying a lot of attention to it.
Felix Light, thank you.